Hey, welcome to the sit down. I'm your man Rod Love, and boy, we got a show for you.
Mm,
Sister Wynn, how are you doing?
I am doing well. What
Uh,
about
I'm
yourself?
doing great. I'm doing great. How was your weekend? Pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good weekend. Pretty
Nothing
good.
eventful.
No, no.
Just a lot of heat.
Just a lot of heat.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hey,
What
Doc
about
Polite.
you? Wait a minute. Hold on. What about you?
I had a whole lot going on. I'm gonna get through Doc Polite, then I'm gonna back up into
Okay.
all of my
Okay.
little happenings.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Doc Polite, I hear you had a hot weekend too.
Man, you see, I told you before we come on the air, ain't no way in the world I wear no jacket.
Hey, 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 Doc, you feeling the heat?
Man, listen, my guy be here in the morning to fix his AC, and it took so long because I had to order the whole outside unit, and they had to
Wow.
ship it and everything. So, and he wasn't here this weekend, so he'd be here first thing in the morning at 9 o'clock.
Hey,
And like I told you,
I bet you
y'all
there's
know
a
that
lot
ain't
of
my time of day.
Hey, I bet you there's a lot of calls for service right now
Yeah.
with
Oh
Acme.
yeah,
Yes.
oh yeah,
Yes.
Hey,
oh
for
yeah.
those of you who just tuned in, welcome to the sit down. And during the sit down, man, I tell you, we like to grind on conversations that impact
Wait a
community.
minute, wait, back up. What about your weekend?
See? See?
Hey,
See, he went out, he's trying to skip
exhausted,
over. And he ought to be proud
exhausted.
of the weekend he had.
What my weekend was, uh, my baby girl was honored with 28 other students
Yes.
from the surrounding area.
Good job, Mondo.
And when I say she was honored, this is the last one that I have. I know all your kids, you and Doc, all y'all kids have graduated high school and
Yes.
done their thing.
Yes.
This is my baby girl Reagan.
Mm.
She graduates next week. I mean, it'll be official, and then she'll start that next chapter. But I have to give credit to Zap. I have to give credit to the faith community. Zap Elite actually gave out 29 scholarships
Wow.
to young people. And I mean, to see all of these young people going to different schools,
Mm-hmm.
to see their families and see the community uh, come to the forefront
Mm-hmm.
and be supportive of having these young people get ready to do something else with
Yes.
their life, but do something that's exciting,
Mm-hmm.
but to have vision and a mission. So, Doc,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk
Yes.
about my weekend, uh, man, it was fabulous, and I can't give enough credit to the community, but also to Zap. Miss Wynn, you know what Zap stands for?
Zelwood,
A popcorn Plymouth.
Plymouth, and
And
Tangerine,
Tangerine.
the surrounding area.
And guess how long Zap has been giving out scholarships to area kids?
Oh,
55 years.
wow.
Oh wow.
55
Oh,
years.
wow.
Hey,
That is amazing.
that is amazing, but you know what else that speaks to? That speaks to commitment to community.
Mhm. Yes.
Because
Yes.
guess what? A lot of people, including myself,
Mhm.
good at starting stuff. But think think about Zach. Zach didn't just start this and stop.
Mhm.
They're still running through the finish line.
Wow. 55 years.
55 years.
That's a lot of kids.
And that was hey Doc, I don't know if you got that link, man, that I sent you to your direct message, but uh when you look at those parents, when you look at those sisters, brother, I heard one kid probably wasn't no older than 10 years old
Mhm.
when they saw their sister
Mhm.
standing in the front of it had to been I got to say over 200 people there.
Wow.
And you heard this voice out of nowhere says,
Mhm.
"That's my sister."
That's a proud young man.
But you know, it's also setting the tone and the tempo for her younger siblings.
Mhm. Next, we're going to see you up there.
That's it.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know that old
Yes.
saying about leading by example.
Mhm.
Man, it was something else. But you know, I will say this, and Zap said it best. Pastor Bradford, Pastor King, uh, the South Apostolic Ministry Alliance are engaged in this. But here's the other thing: in order to give out 29 scholarships, you need what?
Donations.
You need donations.
Donations to make it happen.
Yeah. Because I mean, Zap's not pulling that money out of the air.
Mhm. Not off the tree either.
You're not, yeah, you know that.
Don't say
Hey, go bury $1 in the ground if you want to see if it grow you a money tree. Hey, let me watch you go bury $1. I'm gonna go dig it up.
Yes.
So I got your clip queued up.
Well, Doc, go ahead, man, because people need to see this. Good afternoon. Hey, while there's still much work to be done in the community, I want to acknowledge, my sincere appreciation for the meaningful progress that's being made, especially based on what I witnessed this past Sunday by faith and civic leaders. Zap Elite, that's been in the community for over 55 years, awarding scholarships to young people, awarded 29 scholarships to area youth yesterday. And I mean, it was just a powerful testament to inspire young people to dream and imagine what their futures are going to look like. While we stand on the shoulders of giants, not just shaping communities, but shaping futures. And so I ask, what do you believe the answer is to this question?
Why are there so many churches, and why are we doing so badly as Black people, as a group, despite the extreme number of churches? And do you think that there is a correlation between our high praise and our low productivity?
Now let me see. This is a very challenging question.
Hey, and Doc, I appreciate how you queued that up because it brings us back to what I was saying about Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Faith without work is dead, and I'm not a preacher.
Yes.
But, hey, hey, Doc, to have been doing this for 55 years, you got to be committed to it.
Yes. And I think it's more than it's commitment on that part also, but it's those businesses that are continuously to make those donations to make this happen for those 29 students.
You're right, and Miss Sister Wynn, you're right. It's those businesses, but businesses, let's don't just lean on them because truth be told, all of us, I mean, it don't have to be businesses. I mean, you can have families, you can have communities. Every dime matters. And I mean, come on. I mean, one weekend out of the month, somebody not on the golf course, or one weekend out of the month, you're not at bingo or something. Contribution to ZAP makes the difference in the lives of these young people, and it improves their trajectory.
Yes, it does. It does. It tells them that you can do anything you want to do. You have this scholarship, but there's more to follow, so you follow your dream.
You're right. Pastor Bradford, he was the person to give words of encouragement to the young people. Mm-hmm. And he said something that I thought was very apropos for those young people. He told the whole audience, he says, y'all know how y'all see those cruise ship commercials? Mm-hmm. And then you kind of close your eyes for a second and you dream about, man, what would it be like to be on that cruise? Well, he really forced those young people to dream. Use your imagination about what do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to be?
Yes.
And that's what you got to do.
It really is. It really is. And I just love to even talk to them. They are so intelligent, and they're intelligent and smart at a young age.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what's like, whoa, you just blow my mind away with some of the dreams and aspirations that they have when they come into high school and follow their
you know what? I'm giving Zap all the commercial time possible, but I gotta say, Miss Rose Morris, Miss man, come on now, that's my neighbor too, Tarver, Miss Tarver. I mean, they are, and the grandmother you met with, Miss Amani's grandmother.
Yes. Yes,
You know, and it's more. I mean, it's more people, more names and stuff. But these folks are putting in the work,
Mhm.
and I just want to congratulate them for what they are doing and what they have done. 55 years
Wow.
is being committed and loving what you do.
It is. It
So,
is.
so I don't know what else to say about that. And I do want to open up the phone lines for anybody that wants to contribute to this conversation about what ZAP is doing in communities in Orange County. And we're going to jump to another topic, but that phone number is 407 921 6195. Once again, 407 921 6195. And Doc, I think this would be the perfect segue because we're talking about young people. I believe we need to educate young people too about some of the consequences out there.
Yes.
And that's all we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. And Doc, I want you to go ahead, man, and get a background and frame this up however you want to do it. But I think this is a good lead into basically throwing on one of those videos, man.
Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is a young man that has been called into the police station. And it's telling, and we'll talk about why it's so telling about making sure that our youth are informed and understand that actions have consequences. So here we go.
Like, come on, man. You gotta understand, I'm 17, y'all finna put me in jail for a murder charge. I'm never gonna see the light of day again. Like, y'all, you wouldn't even trying to work with me, like, work with you now. Like, you already knew you was gonna put me in jail when you came in here. Like,
So, I mean, what did you expect me to do?
man, they made it seem like y'all was just gonna interview me and I was finna go home.
And again, like I said, you asked for an attorney. So
Come on,
at
man.
this point in time,
I don't want no, come on,
by-
man.
by right,
Come on, man.
by-
Please, man, come on, man.
by
Please.
law, I cannot engage in a question and answer
Come on,
session.
man. I'm
with
only
you.
17, man.
I
Please,
understand
man.
that.
Come on.
What are you asking me to do?
Like, you can't, like, can I go home, man? Like, let me go home.
That's up to the courts.
So I'm going down for a murder charge.
Today, it really is.
Man,
Wow.
woo.
Wow.
You know, and here's the problematic aspect of what this young man is facing. Now, other than his immediate surrounding, I doubt very seriously he has been exposed to other things outside his social grouping. You know, I always talk about that social grouping and how powerful it is. And social grouping can often lead to you being very ignorant or not cognizant of the rest of the world and that the real world consequences. And you see that. He said, I thought y'all was going to let me go home. How do you think the police are going to say you murdered somebody and at the end of the conversation, you're going to get to go home? Why are you sitting in there having a conversation with them, knowing that they're seeking to arrest you for this crime? See, nobody educated this young man, about, number one, his rights, okay? And definitely are not about the real consequences of real world actions. This is not a video game.
Hey, Doc, on that note, and I know, Sister Wynn, you heard it just like I just heard it, but some of the things that stuck out to me, and Doc, you're absolutely correct, but some of the things that stuck out to me is this young man was under the impression that I'm going to go in here and I'm going to talk to y'all about what happened. And he specifically said, I'm only 17 years old. I mean, in his head, he has a transactional mentality from the standpoint of y'all ain't even working with me with this.
Right. To me, it's like you trying to negotiate. Are you trying to negotiate? I mean, if I don't care what age you are. If you pick up a gun and you kill somebody, you need to pay the consequences and do the time. I don't care if you're 16, 17. You knew when you picked up that gun what you was going to do, and you did it.
Mhm.
And it's like, and they probably had to go look for him. He turned himself in. He probably hid. That made it worse.
This is
I
what
have
happens
no-
when. Hey, this is what happened when Boo Boo the Fool is your best friend. See, Boo Boo the Fool gonna say, man, don't worry about it, dog. They ain't gonna catch you and all of that stuff. And we got your back, dog. You ain't going down for this. They ain't going down like that. And you get caught up. You're like, dog, man, them people got you.
Yes.
They found a gun, dog.
Yes.
We ain't got no money for no lawyer for you. We can put some on your books.
Yeah.
You want some commissary? I'll go down there and put $40 on your book.
But Doc said it best. And I think this is the kind of stuff that needs to be, I'm not gonna say taught. This is the kind of real life experiences that need to be shown.
Yes.
And
It does.
and when Doc says, man, we got your back. Every time we play one of these videos, when you see these young men in that box of a room, you don't go in that room with friends.
You go in there by yourself.
You go in there by yourself.
Yep, everybody got their own box.
Everybody
Everybody got their own box.
You know what, Doc? You're right.
But at that same time, the ones that said I got your back, where are those? And then what also gets me is when you sit there and you know who the other person is, and you're gonna sit there and say, I don't know. Well, where your friends at then?
Where your friends at then?
Let me tell you something. One thing about Doc, I'm gonna tell you up front. I'm a snitch. I'm gonna tell it all.
I'm gonna seem like a mockingbird.
I'm not gonna ride for you. I'm not gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna take it to the grave. Yep, he did it. She did it. Cause see, this is my mentality. Now y'all know Doc ain't always been Doc. I always tell people that. There used to be a saying back in my day, charge it to the game. And what that meant is, we out here playing cops and robbers, and you a robber and it's the cops. There's a consequence. You understand that if you get caught up, you made the choice to be a robber.
Yep.
So roll with it.
Yep.
So yeah. But you know what? On that note, and I'm glad that we came together as a group and we said, you know what? Let's take a different approach to what we've been talking about. Let's show some real life events.
Yes.
But when we show those real life events, what you see when Doc was talking about, I got, his boys say, I got your back and all that kind of stuff. You see those chests out. You see this macho or this real heavy
that false bravado, that machismo, that thug up.
And Doc, I want to show the other side that folk don't see too often when the chest gets sunken in and that voice start getting a high pitch tone.
Yes.
Doc,
here we go.
Here we go.
Charges, considering relevant charges, he is ordered held without bond.
This is the moment a 16-year-old broke down in court after being denied bond for the murder of another teen. Sean Simpson is being charged under a new law that allows 16 and 17-year-olds to be charged as adults. He's accused of fatally shooting 16-year-old Zaquavius Dawkins, who was running errands for his mother when he was hit 3 times in the back. Simpson also tried to end the life of the victim's friend who was injured during the attack. The victim's grandmother said she knows Simpson and that he had harassed and threatened her grandson in school before. Simpson was arrested and charged when police linked him to the crime in court. He broke down when he found out he was being denied bond and being charged as an adult. His charges are currently first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. This case is very controversial due to the age of Simpson, but do you think he should be charged as an adult, or should he get a lesser sentence due to his young age? Let me know your thoughts down below.
Sister William, you already, I know, go ahead. Go ahead, take the lead.
Hey, go ahead. She biting at
You ready?
that bit, boy.
Listen, that young man should be charged as an adult. And the reason I say that is because you shot this individual 3 times in the back. He was not even looking. And then gonna try to kill somebody else.
Mhm.
You can pick up a gun, aim
So-
it at somebody,
Mhm.
So
and
there's
you
a
pull
great,
the trigger. You need to be charged as an adult.
but you know, it's premeditated because they have had history.
Yes.
And
Like the
that's the
grandmother said.
motive. See, they can say, well, you know, you've been after this dude a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You don't even need to know
The
our
history.
position on when the narrator takes you to the end to ask the question, do you think
Mhm.
this young person, and you can't call this young person a child anymore,
Mhm.
should they be charged as an adult?
Mhm.
And Miss Wynn, that's why I left the door, because you charged right through it. But Doc, do this for me. If you would play that clip and stop it, because I want our audience to hear
Where do you want me to stop it at?
right after the I don't know if you call it a scream or pain of agony or anguish or understanding that there's consequence. Right after this young man realizes he's not going home.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
To support the charges, considering the relevant factors, the charges, he is ordered held without bond.
This is the moment a 16-year-old
And,
That's
I mean,
not that chest sticking out now.
yeah.
So you know, I would say now let's not lose sight that this is the number one, that this is a child. His brain is not fully developed. Okay. And that's one of the aspects of development. People don't know when do you start the active process of dying? Do y'all know?
You say, when do you start the active process of dying?
Of dying, yes.
I don't know the answer to that question, Doc, but I will say this to you.
Between 25 and 27 years of age,
What-
your body begins the process of dying. It will not grow in the sense of growth like growing up to be an adult.
Okay, well, then let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
When does the human brain start learning and understanding consequences? When does the human brain start learning that stove is hot and you don't touch it? When it's hot.
It starts at 2 years of age is when it's measurable. You can begin to see a child weighing consequences
Mm-hmm.
of action. Okay.
But Doc, let me say this, and you know, I'm not heartless. I'm not hard when I see that breaks my heart,
It does.
because
It really
I
does.
see it and I see another young
Black
life
man. Mm-hmm.
lost.
Yep.
But
Yep.
here's what I would also say to you.
Yep.
The mother of that young man who lost his life,
Mm-hmm.
her pain and anguish is no different than if an adult
You're right.
took the life of her child.
You're right. You're right. And it's no, and I would even say the same thing for the young man's parents.
Mhm.
You know, you
Yeah.
getting ready to lose
It's
your
pain-
son,
it's
so
pain
it's
on the
gonna
other
be
side.
pain
Yeah.
on the other side. But when you look at it like that, I always hear, and I want to know why people say this is, my child I can't physically see or touch, but you can visit him in jail. To me, it's still painful whether you're in jail, losing a son like that. But that young man has to understand what you just did.
I mean, consequences.
Consequences, yes. And it goes on so much out in our community where it's hard to put it under control, because these young look like they get younger and
Younger,
younger,
you're right.
and younger.
That's just the way you brought something up that I think is often overlooked. And that is the mother who lost a son, that she lost her son lost his life.
Mm-hmm.
You have another mother on the other side that their life is impacted
Yeah.
because they're losing a young man too.
Yes. a young man at that. Yes.
So now let me ask y'all this. What do you think is more responsible for that young man's actions? What do you think were the primary influencers in him taking that action?
To me, I think it goes back to what you said. It's the company you keep. The company, and I would say the company you keep. I don't know. I would put it on that community or not, but I would definitely put it on the company that you keep.
Okay. And what I would say is, it's not any one thing that is responsible for where this young man found himself at. It's not any one thing. This young man, and I don't know, but when you look at percentages as it relates to, and it's sad to say, the African American family today, not in 1970. 1970, you saw more of the African American family as a unit. You had more fathers in the home then, but I would say it's a combination of things. It's a combination of this young man potentially coming from a single parent home where a man or a father figure is absent. I'm going to say, when you look, and this is not trying to be reflective of this young man's parent, because you got parents that try to do all they can do.
Yes.
And unfortunately, for whatever reason, the governance over their children, something goes wrong. But you could have a situation where him being allowed, or not even being allowed, but being out in them streets. You know, we talk about, what is it, the 3 yards, Doc?
Yep. You talking about the graveyard? I'm sorry. Let's start. The home, the yard, the prison yard, and the graveyard. See, those are the primary factors that actually most of us are exposed to. We all have exposure in some way, shape, or form. If I make the choice to drive drunk at my age, I'm transitioning from the home yard to what? To the prison yard or to the graveyard.
Yeah.
So we got to make these choices, not just for kids, but adults as well. This is why you find people in their 20s and 30s who are making those type of choices and suffering those consequences.
So Doc, what do you think? So Doc, why do you think this young man found himself where he's at?
I'm gonna put it right where it always starts. Your first environment is what? Your family.
Yeah.
See, if as a child there is no structure and no consequences, or there's constant turmoil in that environment where nothing is set and concrete to lead you, you don't know conflict resolution. You don't know how to self-soothe when you're upset. Okay, you lash out. You see the man of the house throwing stuff, punching walls and stuff. You think that's acceptable behavior.
Yeah, you think that's normal.
You see them smoking weed. Man, I'm stressed out. I'm smoking weed. See, we don't think about those things, and we sit there and we model this behavior. Okay, you are always modeling behavior if you have children. I don't care whether you tell them to do or not to do. 90% of humans do what they see, not what is said. They follow. We learn more so through observation and mimicking. Okay, that's why we say, let me show you how to do it.
Right.
And more people are tactile learners than any other group. We can listen. Auditory is the least effective way to learn, because it depends on interpretation of what's being said. If you don't know what a whatchamacallit is, and I tell you, go put that whatchamacallit on the whatma thing, you're gonna look at me like you don't know what those are. So you're not gonna pick up that skill. You get what I'm saying? But if I take an object and I take you over there and I said, this is how you do this. Now you're going to remember. You're going to remember the object and you're going to remember the process by which you did it.
But Doc, you say something that's, I think, pretty interesting from the perspective of what you see is what you subsequently, at some point in time, choose to mimic. But I heard it said before, and it's real profound. And when we were talking about responsible fatherhood, and then young man says, if I never saw it, how could I be it? And again, it comes back to what Doc just said. Here are the things that you see that you subsequently mimic. But if you're hearing about being a responsible man, being a responsible father, and the young man say, I didn't see it, so how can I be it? That's a very profound statement and observation.
That is.
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's you could take it that way, or you could take it as a deflecting the responsibility of being exposed to it. Because it's like, have y'all ever heard a little kid cuss? A little kid, 2, 3, cuss? Just cuss up a storm. Now, I'm sure that most adults are not sitting around telling kids to cuss. But that little kid, he'll let off a whole string of profanities. Okay? Nobody taught him to cuss. His environment exposed him to that. And that's how they communicated around him. So he mimics the communication style in which he is part of his environment.
But I think you have so many different motivators.
Yeah.
I mean, with the young man saying, how could he be it if he couldn't see it? But then I look at my situation with my family, with my children, and you know, just a personal piece of me is that my father wasn't there. My mother and father divorced when I was in the 4th grade. He chose not to be, per se, the daddy, if you would.
Okay.
He was the father. So
let me stop you right there.
But so he chose not to be, and that is what motivated me to be.
To be. Yeah.
Okay. And I get that, because guess what? That motivated me as well. I never wanted to be a dad like my dad was. I get that. But the determining factor for me and for Rod too is we actually came in contact with people who showed us different paths and different values, regardless of what dad did. You see what I'm saying?
And you know, a lot of that learning, Doc, and you talk, Doc knows what do you call it, the textile and the audible learning and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, truth be told, as I was coming up as a man, and this is way before I got married and all that kind of stuff, I would observe these older men that just my observation, and they would never know that I was sitting back peeping their game, so to speak. And these were men that you just sit back and observe how they treated their family, how they treated their wives, how they cared for their children. And they were leading without ever knowing that it was young cats like me was sitting back saying, man, I want to make sure part of my character, part of who I am, is the kind of person that is the gladiator, the protector of my family, because I observed how, and I'm not going to mention any of these cats because quite a few of them are gone now. But I learned by observing and saying, to me, that is a value.
But you begin that process in your home. See, you learn to observe in your home. So you took that skill, a skill you learned at home, observe, okay, understand, and apply. See, your mom taught you that. They taught you that in the home. Your environment, your first environment was you got the foundation of learning.
But Doc, see, this is where Doc and I are gonna make the show real interesting because I agree and I understand where Doc is going, But I will say this: my mom taught. I got three other brothers and a sister. There's 5 of us. My mom, she taught us well, but my mom could not teach me and my 4 brothers how to be a man. My mom taught us compassion.
Yes.
She taught us, hey, you treat a young lady a certain way. You respect your elders. You do this, you do this. But my mom, and I say this to women today that need to get these young men off their nipples.
You know what it is.
Say,
Now, yeah, you're right. Me and Rod always diverge.
You learn from your mom when you have a wife. You learn how to treat your wife like you treat your mom.
But what is that called?
Hold on.
What is that called?
You always say when you said with your father, I know in the back of your mind you'd be like, I will not do or be like my father. I am going to change the barrier when it stops with me. This is how I'm going to do, because I don't want to be like my dad, have this and then I'm gone and then I'm not raising, with my
And it's something about having a man in the home. And Doc's played a couple of the other sets that we've had on here. Remember the piece where this little kid can't be no more than 3 years old and he's on the counter and the mother is telling him, get down. And the mother say something, you want a spanking or something? And he's like, yeah. I mean, not, Kelly. Yeah. And you hear the dad voice from way across the room. And the dad say, he's more I guess illustrative than what I'm gonna say, but he said, get your butt down.
And he got down. Yes.
You know why?
Why?
Because men are action takers instantly. We're going to tell you once or twice. We ain't going to sit there and debate it with you or base it on your feelings. But I want to go back to what you were talking about the what a man can teach you. And I think we have said this so long in our community that we believe it, but that a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. And in some aspects, you're right, but she can teach him how to be a human. And the values that you express and have can be taught by anybody that loves you and values you. See, you can be taught to respect women. Why? Because it's respecting people. Respect all people. That's a value that mom or dad can instill in you. Okay? And men help with dealing with manly emotions. How do we move? How, we look at that. How do we move in the outside world? How do you approach business? Stand up. Stand up straight. Don't look at the ground. And I can remember that being that was a mantra in my family, especially when we were out in public and white folks spoke to us. My grandma would knock you in the head if you look down at the ground.
But that's a soft skill. I teach my daughters, look a person in the eye when you're talking to them. You shake their hand with a firm handshake. And I mean, those are.
But traditionally, those are masculine traits that men teach their sons. That stand up, be a man kind of thing, and take care of the women folk. What your responsibility as a man is. Okay, but we also have a responsibility to teach people to be decent and kind human beings. That's what we're failing.
That is true.
We're not teaching people how to be decent and kind humans.
That is
and
true.
one of
what
the
happened to the customer service? You don't need customer service like you used to.
But listen, in society at large, it's a problem. It's a huge problem. We do not teach people how to care about one another.
Why do you think that is, Doc?
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it goes back to what we talked about over the weekend and the systemic things that are going on. There's a reason that our society is where it is. It's intentional and it's purposeful. But that's a whole
I'm glad you brought that up, because these are the kind of conversations that we have to have, because if we have these in a vacuum, we're never going to be able to make progress. And I mean, and just the piece that we're doing with it doesn't give us any pride to be showing these videos of young people who have made some terrible decisions, and their lives are going to forever be changed. But what we came to the conclusion as a group about is if we don't show these real life events, we're doing an injustice to these young people, because and I love the way Doc talks about this. There's different ways of learning, there's different ways of teaching. And I think we got to introduce some real life experiences.
We really do.
So that these young people can kind of scratch their head before they make some life-changing decisions.
But here's what that has always puzzled me. This is the only time I'm gonna tell this story. Y'all know Doc got 1,000 stuff. So I was sitting in the dope house one night, right? And it was probably about 10 to 15 people in there. They all getting high, smoking crack. And one of them turned to me and say, "Hey, you want to hit?" And I looked at him and I was like, "Why in the hell would I want to hit that?" Tell my man, it'll change your life. I say, I'm sure it would. And I always thought about that, because if I can see what it's done to your life and how unmanageable and out of control it is, why in the world would I ever want to do it myself? But here we are, 60 years in, after civil rights, and we constantly are dealing with the same behavioral patterns and conditions that they were then. Why has it not changed? We see the damage, but it seems like we're almost in a spell where we can't say, well, you know, Pookie and Ray Ray sold dope and went to prison for 50 years. I shouldn't sell dope, but yet and still.
And see, it never fails. And Doc really put his arm around something that leads off into another whole show. but and Doc, I was gonna make the mistake of asking you the question, how do we start addressing that? But I'm not gonna ask that because we only got 2 minutes left. But I get your point in case, Doc, and it frustrates me to pose this question because we're gonna close this thing out. But Doc hit it right on the head. Why are we sitting back looking at this constant vicious cycle of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result?
And what do they call that?
Insanity.
Exactly.
And so, you know what?
That's a good question.
Yeah. But you know what? Doc, Sister Wynn, we're going to continue to come back week in, week out, and we're going to find ourselves at the same place we are right now with not enough time to close out. But I will say, Doc, I appreciate the both of you because we dive in the deep end to try to come up with solutions. And to the both of you, I say thank you. I appreciate y'all. Hey, to viewing audience, the sit down takes place every Monday from 6 to 6:45. If we're lucky and Doc and Sister Wynn don't start going off in a different direction, and then we start a whole new show.
Yeah, but, girl, I'm proud of you. You starting to grab that soapbox.
Yeah, you're right. Doc.
Wait. That's right. Get in there.
Hey, Doc,
get in where you fit in.
She getting a lot of fight in her. But hey, for those of you, tune in to the sit down. If you want to be our guest, nothing for you to do but go ahead and dial in, call us, email us. Phone number 407-494-2406. Let us know what your topic is. Let us know what you want to dive in on. And we look forward to welcoming you. And of course, iron sharpen iron. So sometimes we may not agree. And we might have to make you better and sharpen your points. But until then, tune in next week to the sit down, and we look forward to having you.
Keep me in y'all prayers for my AC, because next week, if it ain't fixed, y'all gonna see me on here naked.
Y'all gonna see. Hey, we don't want to do that.
I
Hey,
want to see that.
we'll see y'all next week. Tune in to the sit down. Hey,
Have a good week.
have a good week.